G'day YouTube. I just thought I'd start this video off with new additions, mostly tropical, to my garden, and then I'll do a tour after I show you the new additions. I took a trip down to Cairns Nursery in Springvale, Police Road, and brought some advanced, or very advanced dragon fruit, probably about 6 years old, and placed them in this dragon fruit trellis that I've been building over the last few weeks. It's a bit of overkill, but yeah, that's just how I tend to do things. We've got a 3 mature dragon fruit stems growing up a steel post I concreted in. It was left over from a gate job that I had, and just screwed bits of merbau to the side just to insulate the steel from the dragon fruit. I'm not sure if it matters. I just want to cover all bases. I'm no expert on dragon fruit or anything like that, but I just thought it can't hurt. Also painted the any sort of exposed stem just with a bit of white water-based paint. Don't know if it'll help, but it can't hurt either, so just thought I'd give that a try. Just a birdie's 970mm diameter raised bed, and I built a veggie garden around it just to stop the weeds weeds and grass coming from underneath. So I thought that veggie patch will provide a bit of a buffer from the surrounding grass, and I'll build a square section to weld on top this week, and then I'll try and train those taller ones to hang down. We'll see how we go with it. Here I'm starting to utilise I've got a north facing brick wall, so starting to utilise it for tropical pots, and put rocks underneath to retain the heat. This cops full sun in winter, so and it's under the eaves, so hopefully it works out. I've got galangal in these 2 pots. I've got 2 pots of ginger. I'm raising some 2 moringa and a curry leaf tree here, and if they take off they'll fill in this gap here. And over here we've got a dwarf self-pollinating almond, just in a pot. I eat quite a few almonds, so thought we need to have one. And after watching George's review on lemon guava, I thought I'd buy one and put it there. It's a nice sheltered position, plenty of overnight heat from the bricks and the rocks, and it already had 3 flowers on it when I brought it, so it'll should give me 3 fruit this year, because it looks identical to the red strawberry guava. So at least with these 3 this year it'll confirm that it's actually a lemon one. Cheers. I just want to say too, at the end of this video I'll leave a walk around, a bit of walk around footage I took from Cairns Nursery, where I brought these from. He's a good, honest nursery man, and yeah, just thought I'd show you the stuff he's got there. It's just incredible. So just skip to the end or watch it through and watch the walk around if you're interested in getting advanced trees and not having to wait years for results. That's the place to go. It's the Only place I could find that has that sort of stock. Okay, here's a couple of rippers I got from Cairns tropical fruit trees. Some very advanced mangoes, 2 varieties. And there's the Thai green. Absolutely beautiful. He's looked after them all that time. And very healthy tree. So what I'm going to do eventually is pave this area underneath them and just keep increasing the pot size. I don't think I'll put these in the ground. And I'll just pave an area underneath them, and I'll sit a nice garden chair in between. Little table there, and yeah, sit under the mango trees in Melbourne, hopefully, if I can increase the size of them. You can see how healthy they are. This one's full of flowers. I'm very happy with these trees. They've only been sitting there for a couple of weeks, and they've put on inches of growth, like just in a couple of weeks. Also brought a little red hybrid Jaboticaba. I'm just keeping it in that small pot there. It's probably doubled in size also since I brought it. And yeah, when it gets a bit bigger, I'll just increase the pot size, but that's a new addition. And also over here, this one's doing the best. It's a giant Jaboticaba. The fruit is supposed to be the giant part of it, not the actual tree, but this has actually tripled in size since I've had it down in Melbourne. And it was just in a sheltered spot I had behind the shed, and didn't really take much notice of it. And when I checked it a few days ago, I thought I might bring it out into the sun. It seems to be doing really, really well, but that's going to get a permanent home where this broccolini is in a year or two, in a raised bed. I'll just put a tree ring in that section, and that will provide good shelter and shade for the pond. And it doesn't lose leaves very often, so it won't clog up the pond. I'm also going to put a garden bed in here and put a different variety of wampy, which will also shelter the pond area and also doesn't lose many leaves. So that's the plan for the future in that little section there. I think the humidity from the pond helps with things. As you can see by this longan, which has got plenty of new growth and heaps of flower buds. It seems to be very happy in that spot. It's turned into one of my favourite trees, this one. And after visiting the nursery today, Ken told me to check out a longan down the road that he'd sold quite a few years ago, and it was the size of a fully grown lemon tree or an orange tree. It was just huge, full of fruit. So gave me confidence that this one's going to do quite well. You know, look at all this. just magic. Even the foliage is worth it, just for the foliage. Fruit's a bonus. Alright, I'll start with the tour now. Bit of an update. The Golden Delicious apple is just loaded with fruit this year. It's just everywhere. I gave it quite a bit of potash every 2 weeks this year just to see if it made a difference. It looks like it has. And also I think my friend Soda grafting on a different variety here with these two on it. I think it's Pink Lady. I think that's helped pollination with the rest of the tree. It's just, there seems to be more downwind from that graft. There seems to be a lot more fruit. It's just a theory. But that's a bumper crop for a little tree. Same with the olive this year. Absolutely loaded. Hopefully it's to do with the potash that I've been putting on everything. Just learning as I go. Plenty of olives. Probably 1,000 on there. The loquat's starting to take off. And this is the first year that this Feijoa pineapple guava is going to give us fruit. It did it in a big way. It's got heaps. That was just a seedling from Caribbean Gardens. Cost $5 or something. And just waited and waited. And yeah, just boom, this year it's just gone crazy. And the little strawberry guava that I put in here that was looking like it was going to die in winter has spruced up. That's going to do right there. It's yeah, as predicted, it's just found its feet, and that'll be a nice little tree too. So the dragon fruit I've got at the front is all the three stems there are all pearl. Just a red outer with the white inner, and these are different varieties. I've left a spot at the front for this one, the Aussie Gold or Isis Gold. That's starting to get a bit of growth. That's going to take up the 4th section on the pole, and then these other 3 are going to go into a pot on a smaller scale trellis. And just let them take on some growth here behind the shed. And here's some capsicums and chilies taking off. It's a little tight squeeze behind the shed, but yeah, not wasting any space this season. Got different melons and things growing everywhere. The Tamarillo has found its feet now. I just keep the aphids under control. Probably got to spray it every week for aphids. But that's tripled in size over the last month or so. Just got various veggie beds. The asparagus is doing better than I could have hoped for. Some of these ferns are 7 feet tall. It's just a perfect spot, good soil, full sun all day. Just keep adding compost and manure to it. And next year we'll be able to eat those, but this year we're just letting it grow out, letting the bed establish. But couldn't be happier with the asparagus. Surprised actually how well it's done. Have a look under there, it's just booming. Some of these are quite thick now that the root system's starting to get big. So here we've got the Wampy. The flowers held on even after I took it out of the pot and put it into the ground. Looks like we haven't got any flower drops, so hopefully we get fruit on its first year, that one. We've got the yellow Jaboticaba. After bringing it out from behind the shed, it's taken off. There was some things eating the yellow and the large leaf grimmel. There was snails or caterpillars or something eating it behind there, and I didn't notice. So now I've brought them out here. They should take off again. I got the Sabra small leaf one here. That's the largest one at the moment. I've got that in a feature position in a raised bed. It's it's copped a bit of wind and everything. It's just hasn't knocked it around at all. Got the cucumbers now starting to grow up the trellis. Starting to get some good sized ones on there. So the raised bed system seems to be working quite well. Strawberries went bananas. They're starting to send out these daughter plants. I don't really need them. The bed's already crowded enough as it is, so I just break them off as I see them. And just throw them into the avocado section over there for mulch. The red chatut is doing quite well there. It's thickened up on the trunk, and yeah, it gets a good dose of afternoon sun where it is there. So I've got this young bacon avocado behind the shade cloth protection this summer because it's still got a green trunk on it. I don't want the trunk getting sunburned, so if you look through there, it's still very green. So I'll just wait until it browns off and gets a bit more leaf protection. This was the ugly duckling of the bunch at the nursery. It was the last bacon left and it had a big bend in it. No one seemed to want it. So it's been in full wind. It copped a hiding during winter. That's why I had to tie it down every which way. But it's come up a treat. It's looks like an indoor plant, how shiny it is. And it didn't produce any fruit this year. It's still too young, but it did its job. Produced a lot of flowers which pollinated the hass next door. Got a lot of fruit on the hass. It's only been in the ground since September, a few months ago, but it was advanced when I brought it. It was almost ready to start producing. But these bacon, they're almost bulletproof if you give them good drainage by the looks of it. It's got good drainage, but apart from that, it cops the wind where it is. That's been out since April right through winter, and yeah, very hardy. Chili and guava still going very well. It's one of two. These little miniature peaches, Trixie I think they call them. They're I couldn't recommend them highly enough. They get so much fruit on them that you got to peg them while they're young so that the branch doesn't hang down. It's incredible when you look underneath such a small tree and all this full-size fruit. It's just everywhere. Like it's an absolute ripper. I've got two of them, and you see the second one over here. It's just I've had to put in supports because the fruit is just ridiculous. It's for such a small tree. It's just loaded, full-size fruit. So they're great for small backyards like mine. And a little potted fig, going to give us fruit this first year. And the cherry in the front here is doing very well, but the cherry in the back, I've had to pull it out and change the soil over. The soil was quite waterlogged for all the rain we had, and it was not doing nowhere near as well as the one in the front, so I pulled out the plant, replaced the soil with potting mix, and we'll see if it bounces back. That's why it's looking a little bit sick at the moment. Here's the Hass avocado. Couldn't be happier with this. Put it in the ground a few months ago, and it's probably got about 50 or 60 fruit on it. Probably pollinated from the bacon, which is just over there. I only protect this tree because it's got quite a brown stem already. Trunk. It's almost fully browned off, so I just put the protection around this one when it's 30 plus, or 28 to 30 plus. Anything above 28 or around that range, I protect it. But that's not bad for the first year. If you look through there, it's just lots of fruit all the way down. Hasn't lost many leaves. I don't know if that's to do with the shade cloth, but it's almost dropped none. So that's the Hass avocado. Got various fruit trees, oranges and potted lemons, plums. Always putting corn in where we can fit it. Other vegetables that we use, like a living mulch, just to protect the soil from the sun. By the time middle of summer, this should all be covered with different things just to protect the soil. Nectarine, still haven't netted it. We don't really have much of a problem around here with birds, although I can hear some lorikeets in the background. I think they're preoccupied with eucalyptus, so they leave this stuff alone at the moment. But that tree is a very old tree. It's going really well, as is the sugarcane in the corner. Also from my friend Soda, he gave me that. Persimmon, number one, the first one we put in, absolutely booming. It hasn't got as much fruit this year as last year. It's still got quite a bit, but it seemed to put on more vegetative growth than fruit this year. But next year should be fantastic. I'm going to move this dwarf apricot. It's producing a handful of fruit every year, but I think I've got these too tight in between a plum and a persimmon. I'm just going to pot this one up into a 160 litre pot and just put it on a concrete area. So yeah, that one, this plum here is doing quite well. Plenty of corn here squeezed in. Cucumber, another cucumbers section. It's doing well already. Early December. Already getting some corn coming up. These mandarin trees have bounced back. I think they get cold. I think the leaf curl like this. I couldn't find any much info on it, but I think it's just the cold of winter, because every time the weather warms up, these new shoots come out. So I was gonna move them, but I might give them a couple more seasons and see if they perk up, because this year they've got quite a bit of flower set on them. I've got a bit of living mulch underneath. Here we have some big tomatoes, another persimmon that's just finding its feet there. It's the young one. Avocado is going to give us plenty of fruit. I've never tasted these. I hope they're worth it. although it doesn't take much, it's just a bit of a water every now and again, but that's thriving where it is. We just harvested some beetroot. Some beetroot there underneath another feijoa. It's going to give us a medium or small to medium crop of fruit this year. Plenty more tomatoes. Some potted things there. Down the side of the house here we have just a few beds with celery and Chinese spinach, kangkong, some climbers. This gets great heat from these stones, and the afternoon sun sets on these bricks. And all night you can walk down here and you can just feel the heat coming off the bricks and the rocks. You can just see everything that we put down here just takes off because of the warmth overnight. It was just a dead space when we moved here, but now it's one of our most productive areas of the garden, this one. Here's 3 different varieties of blueberries. Put on quite a bit of growth. We've got quite a few blueberries off them this year. First year in those raised beds. Quite happy with this wonderful pomegranate. It was just a twig earlier in the year. When we brought it, it was probably the size of this branch. It was just that size. I must like where it is, because now it's grown to that. But not only that, it's the pomegranate with the most flowers set on it. And you look at these flowers. Beautiful. So I haven't counted them, but it looks like it's got half a dozen, and they don't look like they're going to drop off, and more just keep popping out. So that's been a real winner, that one. Got more corn, a lot of eggplant in this area. This strawberry guava has doubled in size. Bushiness, heaps of new growth, heaps of fruit. The corn taking off. This is a gyro persimmon. It's looks like it's doing quite well. Semi-dwarf. I'm going to grow some pumpkin along the back, along the fence line there, just to protect that dirt and to get some pumpkins off it. There's another later maturing blueberry. I think it's a sunshine blue. And got more eggplants. Here's some larger pomegranate trees. I brought them already that size. Local nursery, and it's only got 2 fruit on it, but it looks like it's transitioning from the flower to the fruit already. So had pretty good success with those 2. Lemongrass. This pomegranate looks healthy, but it didn't get any flowers this year. But this whole garden's only, apart from the big nectarine tree, this whole garden's only a year or 2 old, so can't expect too much yet. Got another Chilean guava there, and rosemary. Here's the Ben-Hur pomegranate. It didn't do quite as well as the wonderful, but I'll just let it establish itself and then I'll prune it into shape. Still looks fairly healthy. And the blood orange. It's held on to quite a bit of fruit. It's only been in the ground also around about September. But it looks like it's going to give us a sample this year. And the kaffir lime. I don't know what it is with fruit trees, they seem to like being situated next to concrete. Well, it's probably the heat sink that the concrete provides, but this was always struggling at the backyard. It had yellowing leaves and no fruit. It was always looked like it was struggling. It's been in that pot for 5 years, but as soon as it got relocated to this position, it's just it looks amazing. It's got fruit all over it. First time we've ever had fruit on it. Looks like about close to 100 when you look around. So yeah, if you keep watching, you'll see I've just done a walk around of the nursery where I get all the advanced stuff from. He's honest fella, good prices, reasonable prices, and yeah, highly recommend it. Cheers. Cairns Tropical Fruit Nursery in Police Road, Springvale. Look at the size of this Jabbo.
You gotta show him the jujube tree, Paul.
That's the jujube tree.
Look at the size of this.
What is it?
That one's about 18 years.
18.
Yeah. Look at the truck. See the truck? Big as your leg.
Oh, really?
Look at the size of it.
Coming over the truck.
He's been on film before. I've seen George.
Yep. Okay,
Hey,
we delivered the Dragonfruit to his car.
Here's Can.
Yeah, have a look.
Another
I'll put it in the car.
6-year-old 6-year-old dragon fruit.
A lot of experience to do this. See, very easy. Done.
Beautiful.
Bell on him, so the police don't find him.
Beautiful. Thanks, Can. Good on you, mate.
It's not bushy.
You're not pushing
I
it.
won't show you bushy.
So the ones you're going to get.
Extra large persimmon.
They're going to be bushy.
This is where you come if you want advanced trees and you don't want to wait. Persimmon forest. wax jambu, dragon fruits. This was the mango I wanted, but it was already sold, unfortunately. Beautiful.